and welcome to CTN Journal. I'm Jennifer Anderson. A Coon Rapids volunteer and activist has dedicated her life to caring for others, particularly helping veterans. She understands the needs of veterans well after decades in the military herself. Now, Kay Bauer is receiving some well-deserved recognition.
Hi, how are you today?
On a morning in late June,
Do you know someone who's on the wall?
before a traveling replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall, long-buried stories of war emerge.
Now, were you injured there?
For some, it's closure, it's recognition,
You take care, welcome home.
it's a homecoming that never was.
I go back. I start listening and I'm right back there.
Back in Rach Gia, Vietnam. It's 1966, and by now, Kay Bauer is a seasoned Navy nurse. She's already served in Japan and Guam, served as head nurse of pediatrics at the Great Lakes Naval Hospital in Illinois, and is joining a 7-member surgical team headed deep into the Vietnam War.
We got there in the hospital, had no running water, no electricity, the louvered windows, no screens, no glass, so mosquitoes everywhere.
Kay was in her late 20s when she was dropped on a tarmac in the middle of rice paddy fields with a duffel bag of supplies.
How do you work? You don't have gloves, you don't have electricity, you don't have running water. How do you work in that situation? And so that's what I had to learn.
Kay's team set up a makeshift operating room on the western border of Vietnam along the Gulf of Thailand. Combat wasn't far away. But as seems to be Kay's manner, she is quick to defer to the sacrifice of others.
We did wonderful care when we got them and with what we had, but the guys would not have been to us if it weren't for those medics and corpsmen out there in the field. And we would watch the flames come up, the helicopters come in, and then it just seemed in minutes the guys were arriving. They already had IVs started. They were all, they had the bandages on, they were tagged, and it was phenomenal. They were phenomenal.
Her time in Vietnam changed Kay forever, and the local Vietnamese families tugged at Kay's caregiving nature.
Watching people die of injuries and watching people deal with losing, their sound mind and their sound body. The other very sad thing was watching people die and children die of communicable diseases. We have immunizations.
At 82 years old, Kay Bauer now lives comfortably in Coon Rapids with her husband, Vern. She works tirelessly on veterans' issues.
My mother always said, if you have enough, you have enough to share.
But memories of her 35 years in the Navy, and particularly of her year spent in Vietnam, do not fade.
Like right now, when you asked me about Vietnam, I'm not here. I'm right back there. I can see, every detail in my mind.
Which is why Kay continues to talk.
Eugene Hanrahan, yes, I babysat for him.
Informed by her own losses and tours of duty, Kay volunteers at events like this visiting wall. She is part of several women's groups which have led the charge to get counseling and PTSD services for nurses and veterans here at home. And Kay spent years working with a core group of Minnesota nurses to get the Vietnam Women's Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Well, it makes me feel like I have some purpose in life. I'm 82, I don't know how many more years or days or weeks or months that the Lord is going to give me, and so I need to do what I can.
This past Memorial Day, the Women Veterans Initiative named Kay Minnesota's Woman Veteran of the Year.
Oh, I just couldn't believe it because there were so many women who have done so much more.
But Kay's impact is undeniable.
Just remember, it's okay.
Her continued volunteerism and capacity to care reach more people every day. While her history may be intertwined with war, trauma and loss.
Well, you take care. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Kay's legacy is one of grace, love, and compassion.
Maybe some peace somewhere, you know. I don't like war. It's not good.
Kay joined the Navy in 1958 to pay for her last year of college at St. Kate's, where she received a BS in nursing. After 35 years on both active and reserve duty, Kay continued to work as a nurse and educator at hospitals and colleges throughout the Twin Cities. Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of CTN Journal. I appreciate you watching and hope you tune in next time.